Next mission. Yeah, bog. Here we go.
Second worst, maybe.
There's some interesting stuff on this level. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna create a save because the game refuses to save sometimes. It's very, very bad. But essentially, we want to get to this line here. Usually, like just hanging out around here is safe. But if you don't, and you kind of just send it immediately. That time I managed to not die, but I think it can also cause some issues with like your character or your teammates' movements.
Pretty sure
Let's see if I
Vasquez
get this.
softlocked.
Make sure not to cross that blue and green car line before clear. Keep moving up.
Yeah,
that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, so right
if
here
do
you
it
don't want to
before,
cross.
yeah, if you do it before, and even if you come back, you will still die.
Yeah.
So.
And then once you're here, I guess we'll kind of just talk about like regular strats because I don't know the TP strats, but you want to kill those two groups of enemies. Come over here to the stairs. Rip Royce of Wits, I didn't mean to let him die there. Come up the stairs, kill these enemies. Take these dudes out as quickly as you can. Start knocking these guys out. You should start seeing Vasquez run around this corner. That's good. Sometimes you won't even see him at all, and that either means good things, where he's already like here, which is nice, or he's stuck somewhere. And I think it's usually softlock because, you know, how you left that first area, right?
As far as I understand, yeah. If you leave that too quickly, you're much more likely to get softlocked.
Yeah.
There is a slight exception to that. If you go really fast and don't kill anyone, you will almost never get softlocked. But then there's this other variation where you wait maybe 15 seconds trying to get the TP strat, and that's when you softlock. The game does this really weird thing in the background where it assigns colors to your allies to do certain things. And if you wait into a certain point and then you move up, the game kind of freaks out and assigns the wrong colors, so your teammates will just not know what to do.
Yeah. And what I was gonna say is, for when you get on the MG, you usually want to. I think it helps to honestly wait until Vasquez says the dialogue, hit their flank with their machine gun, and before then you're kind of just clearing out all these enemies here, because if anyone's alive in this area, that prevents this door that opens up later from opening. So you want to take them out as quickly as you can. And then he'll say hit their flank with a machine gun, and after like about a second or two, an enemy will spawn right here behind this wall, and that's the only one that we need to worry about killing. And once Vasquez or whatever realizes that this enemy is dead, he'll be like, good job, and then you can move to this next section here.
Or if the command line comes first, then that means you can also move up.
Yeah. And
so
the teleport strat is basically just go through, enter the building later at like 23, 24 seconds, but it's really not well understood. It's very inconsistent.
Yeah, and it risks softlock.
Exactly. I don't think it's a good idea.
Also, getting aim punched here is like one of the worst things ever. It's very annoying. Royce Woods, will he win? Will he win? No, he's getting his ass kicked. Yeah. So you come up here. Probably lost a little bit of time doing that, but whatever.
There are a bunch of ways to do this first section though, so just learn what you prefer. You don't even need to kill those guys down there, which Blue does in almost all of his runs. It can help Vasquez move up quicker, but it's marginally just, it doesn't matter that much. But it's good practice if you want to get used to it.
I totally did this wrong so far.
So yeah, for this area you want to try and clear everyone. You want to start acting people close to you, because this concrete barrier right in front is where Vasquez will move up to, and we want him to get there as fast as possible.
Yeah, you missed one enemy that is behind the green car, so that's why your teammates still haven't moved up.
Yeah, so basically what we want to do, and I'll revert, actually let me just die really quick here. I made sure I got a save, which you can do pretty consistently if you're, you know, constantly getting screwed over by the saves. If you come over here to this left a bit, usually it'll give you a game save. The problem is I've now like kind of missed the window that I want to go out there and start shooting these guys. So
And if the cars are on fire as well, Vasquez won't move up past them. So you want to blow through.
oh my god, dude. Sometimes you'll cancel your grenade launchers a little early, which is very fun. There's a guy there, so I'm just gonna do that. Okay. So
Yeah,
all
so
those
that
enemies
was
are now
pretty
dead.
good.
Except for that guy. And then you hear Overpass. Vasquez gets to this point here. And then West should be coming out, which there he is.
And be careful here, because there's like dozens of RPGs raining down.
Yeah, and Dragonov enemies and everything that just insta-red screens.
Any idea how to prevent that from happening?
No, there isn't. It's just random if the enemies shoot him or not.
There's some people that
usually
shoot
don't.
him, but I've been
They
screwed over too many
prioritize him.
times.
Yeah, they prioritize him, but they have bad accuracy, so it might take a while.
And I have failed to team damage by trying to kill him before, but usually you don't. It's kind of weird.
You
Probably
don't unless
with
you
level.
damage people before, basically, accidentally with the grenade launcher or something else. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those fence guys are random. That was lucky.
Yeah, they were right here chilling. Sometimes they're all the way back here. I think it has to do with like how quickly you also do the first section. Like if you do it pretty quickly, they're not going to obviously stray back there, which is good. Also, I created a save, so in case I was messing around. But yeah, so for this part, we don't have to worry too much about like having good or bad movement through this section. But you definitely don't want to be late to this next area. And if you just take this exact path, you should be fine. Alright. And you want to make sure you don't do this. You don't want to just like go out immediately. What can happen is you'll essentially, it's like a softlock, right? It's, the game will just like continually kind of like get mad at you with like the tank or whatever, and just like will fail a lot.
yeah, I think you did it properly here, though. I don't think.
Oh, maybe I was a little bit late. Yeah, I think you're right.
Vasquez set his line out to 6 or whatever.
Yeah. So essentially,
You gotta wait for that line.
yeah, you have to wait for this
The
dialogue.
tanks on the other side.
Yeah. And then once you hear that, you're safe to go. But if you go too early, a lot of bad things can happen. And then once you're here, you want to get to this point and take out 4 guys is usually good. Wait for he says offline in that dialogue there, and then go. And I'll do that again. So it's a lot of stuff going on. Tanks are on the other side of the overpass. Start strafing over. Get to this spot. I was slow at getting here, so the offline dialogue started early. In which case, if that happens, like you're pretty much SOL. You can't do the fast strat anymore. You need to just protect the tank for a second until you hear Bravo 6, then you're good to go. So that's like the backup, where you lose like potentially 10 seconds, but you usually want to try and avoid that. And
And
get the
why
time.
we lose 10 seconds, though, is because of we don't get overlapping dialogue. That's the only reason. It's still the same timing to go to the like turret or whatever, but the ZPU is still the same timing, but we just don't get overlapping dialogue.
And yeah, sometimes you'll have to take that time loss if you don't get enough enemies spawning, which is very rare, but sometimes you'll only get like 2 kills and you have to turn around and run back.
Yeah. And I want to demonstrate this really quick. So if you blow up the turret here with it like having line of sight on you, so if I was to detonate this right now, it'll kill me. But if I'm behind this wall, or if I'm behind this box, or even that dumpster over there, I won't die. So it's not a distance thing, which I used to think for the longest time until I just randomly was messing around with that. But yeah, I need to do that again because I want to get the good timing of everything pretty quickly. because you want to get to this next area pretty quickly too. Oh
I
shit.
want to take a comment from the chat from Reaper. Yes, so you wait at the corner basically. There's this shadow kinda that you can see once the lightning or whatever flashes, and that's the line that you want to wait at right there. So on the shadow side of it, and then once that line comes, you can go.
Sometimes that Vasquez line doesn't pop though, and you immediately get the offline one. And I don't know what causes that. Is that just pathing or luck?
Yeah, it's you just have to go far enough for it to trigger.
Gotcha. So I demonstrated a fail there.
Is that like when you just barely get around that wall, you can not go far enough to trigger that extra dialogue?
So what I just did there is the FR, what is it called? The IR beacon? Is that what it is? So it spawns in at this spot every time, and I kind of have a spot that I like to look at. So I look at this tree, and then also this dumpster, and if I'm in between those 2 points, that's usually good. You can also use this car as a reference, but essentially you just want to sit here and then hold F, or whatever your use button is, to place the IR beacon. And then from there, you want to immediately, or not immediately, you can kind of linger around a bit, but you want to get to this part that I'm going to right now. Oh, my dialogue's freaking out. And then, so for this spot, I'm just going to pause really quick. Actually, wait, I can create a save. So where I am is kind of important, and how I'm positioned is important. You want to have your back kind of against this wall. This is like how I consistently do this every time. But you have your back against this wall, and you're looking up at this like support beam, and you want to be to the right of that. And essentially what this is going to accomplish is, instead of, you know, being here, and I'll show you kind of like a difference of like how slow this is, but so all your teammates need to regroup, and you know, we're kind of waiting. They come in from super far away sometimes, and it takes forever. So to avoid that, we're gonna stand here, look this direction, don't look towards the tank, and all of them just TP'd there. And you can see that on the map. So you can see the difference there in time, like it's very significant. So look on my map in the right side of my screen, you'll see everyone spawn over. And that's when you know you're good to go. Yeah, this saves a good chunk of time potentially. Sometimes they're fast by default, but this is obviously way better.
Yeah, the game teleports your allies if you're not looking at the allies. So even if you have a line of sight over one of them, the game will not teleport.
Yes.
Even if you get two of them, it doesn't matter, you need all three, so it's just safer to look the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, and you can't, like, after they're not teleported, you can't, like, force them by going to the spot again, so it's kind of just GG at that point. Yeah. So we just go ahead and go on to the next one?
Yeah, I think that's the level pretty well done.